My name is Riin. Happy to greet you. It's a good microphone, so if I'm getting anxious, then you will all see it if it starts to wiggle. But I'm here today instead of Kadri Haljas. She's the CEO of Triumph Health. So I'm giving you our shared knowledge. And I'm going to talk about how we have so far funded our startup. My background in Triumph is I joined the forces with them in the beginning of 2017. And my background and interest is in clinical child psychology. And at first, I wanted to give you a brief overview about what we do. So we are creating a serious mobile game for children who are chronically ill to offer them psychological support. And illnesses such as cancer or diabetes or asthma are getting more and more common. And there are statistics that every fourth kid is already battling with chronic disease. These diseases are all very different, but they have something in common, and this is the mental burden. So we want to help kids to adjust to their new health situation. And to help them, we need to focus on many different aspects. Their mental health, how the treatment is going. We have to give them information, support their general health. And at the same time, we have to empower them and give them a sense of success. And how to do it? These components I mentioned, they only work if they are delivered in a way kids love, and kids love playing. So in our game, kids have to save the Triumph City from the disease monster, and through this game narrative, we offer the research-based psychological support to support and monitor the patient. During the negotiations we had initially with the medical personnel, at one point we discovered that in addition to the added value for the patient, we can also add value to the doctors. So the data that we gather from the game, we can collect it and analyze it and make it visually clear to grasp for doctors. So our business model or our customers are hospitals who are paying both for the game and for the dashboard for doctors. And there was already tip number one for funding. At first, that if you know your customer, then this is one of the best investors. And what we mean by here is that you and your product have to be in constant development. And if you already do it together with your customer, then it's a very good investment. But now getting more specific to funding, we are also a bit different example because we have been active in 2 countries, in Estonia and in Finland. And our mindset or idea has been not to give out portions of our business or do it in a very minimum level. So at first we aimed for non-dilutive grants. And up to today, we have received a grant from Business Finland funded consortium, other public grants from Finland for product development. Now we already met with Prova Health collaborators from Denmark, and we are starting to validate our dashboard there. Then we also have received a research grant, which is for postdoctoral research. This is Mobilitas Plus from Estonia, and we are aiming also for European Institute of Technology Digital Challenge and Horizon 2020. Regarding the Business Finland, there we had an experience that this funding also took us more than 1 year, but this was rather related to the paperwork of the consortium itself, but it's still maybe a thing that you need to take into account. And here comes tip number 2, that you have to have committed team for that, and committed in 2 ways. That at first, that rather have specific people who are on this topic, so not the whole team is on it. And committed team in that sense that until you have the grants, the team has to work without the grant. So another option or way we have got funded is through different kind of competitions. And this is a time-consuming process, and one could ask whether it's worth it. And the short answer from our side is that it is worth it because it gives you a lot of visibility. And our experience from this year is that, for example, we were in Cleveland. There was this medical capital innovation competition. We became the best health technology company in Finland, but this competition now continues across disciplines, so we'll see. We took part in Prototon, in Ajojaht, and so on. So tip number 3 is we suggest to take part in competitions. It takes time again, but if you have rather one person focusing on that, then it's better instead of, for example, the whole team rotating, doing the pitching and attending the events. So after the own funds and public grants and competitions, regarding investors, we have here on the slide a couple of tips what to do before. We have 2 angel investors on board, and at the moment we are in contact with other investors as well, just keeping them updated for the future seed rounds. But what has been important from our perspective regarding investors also to include their expertise. Because, for example, a very simple example with us is that as we have a game, but it's a serious game, then one option is also to take or involve an investor who is working in the entertainment gaming field or industry. But this is, in the long term, this is not what you probably want if you consider yourself as a health tech company. So expertise is important, and if you go to and approach investors, then you must do your homework well. To what are you asking, what are the conditions that what is your valuation, and so on. So we have had these non-dilutive grants, competitions, research grants, and 2 angel investors, but there are also further options to show the effectiveness of your solution. As our game is at the moment, we are running clinical trials in Tallinn Children's Hospital and Tartu University Hospital. So if you say that it makes something better, then prove it. Then we also suggest to be present on social media, because this gives you a more broader view, and investors may find you from there as well. There are possibilities to take loans. In Estonia, there is LHV, who offers some kind of microloan. I don't know the conditions, but also in Finland, they're piloting a loan that is backed up by Business Finland. Business Finland is a similar enterprise as EAS Enterprise Estonia here in Estonia, so that you don't have to put in your own money, but it's covered from Business Finland side. So this may be an option, but it's rather difficult or impossible to get if you don't have revenue to show yet. And also crowdfunding from Finland is also a good example. Is Ashall Healthcare. They have a product for veterinary purposes, and they raised, for example, 650,000 euros, and I think it was for 20% of the company or so. So why not? And the tip number 5 is to know your needs and make long-term plans, and also look it on a bigger scale, and search for international maybe grants where to apply, because the feedback that you will get from there is still on a larger scale than you get from Estonia or Finland or so on. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, and if I cannot answer, then you can write to Kadri directly. So thank you.
Thank you. We do have 2 questions here. The first one is, how would you describe the differences in, it says buddiness here, but I'm pretty sure it's meant to be business. So how would you describe the differences in business and health tech development environment in Finland and Estonia? And if it was supposed to be buddiness, then the person can correct me. But the differences in Finland and in Estonia.
Okay, we were just joking during the lunch that it's nice when Teemu said that you're in Finland, but Finland is so small, then if you take Estonia, then it's even smaller. So from Estonia's perspective, it's almost 5 times bigger than Estonia. So, and as during the day we were discussing that there are a bit more investments in innovation and so on. So, and maybe the whole ecosystem, this nice buzzword as well, that is available in Finland is, one could consider it still better. Or for example, we have an office in GE Healthcare House, which this is also a name for health tech companies, and also as General Electrics there, they can get a hunch or they support all the knowledge that they have inside the house and so on. So yeah, probably pros and cons everywhere as usually, but we would rather consider it still a bit better. Or maybe to take advantage of both of the business-making pros from different countries. So.
Another question here is, who will pay for your service in Estonia?
Yeah, it's we're also negotiating with Haigekassa, but the general idea is to have the hospitals as paying customers. So, as I mentioned previously as well, that there is a yearly license.
Yep, the microphone is approaching you.
Thanks. So, it's actually not a question. I actually know Kadri, and congratulations on being also the Kasvu Open final with us. And they actually won the best presentation in the semifinals. If you go back to the loan slide, I would like to clarify that because I think it's very important that, so the Business Finland, after you get the $50,000 Tempo Fund, grant that's available for everybody, as long as you have a Finnish company or even subsidiary in Finland, that's like grant for a market study or little pilot or just checking out if your idea is valid. The next step for that is the R&D loan, and we just we applied and we received it. So I can give you an example. So it's non-dilutive government funding loan coming from the Technical Business Finland, which is a tech fund, and the sizes go up whatever you guys think freely. I think big, so we applied €900,000 project, and we were giving it. So it's 70-30, so you have to have a 30% of your own funding, plus a little bit more to run your business, because everything is not R&D money. So giving an example from us, they give us $630,000 loan that can be partially forgiven if you go bankrupt, so you don't need to put any money down. And we need €400,000 for our own money. So I'm sure Kadri knows that, and then that's something that people from Estonia should look into, because it's available for any European country, and you guys are here, and it is a good market.
Yeah, but it's still that you have to establish a company in preconditions. So
you will most likely, if you're in this game, establish a company also in UK and different places, because when the investors come, if they ever come, they might require that. So you got to plan ahead. But I'm saying that you can have your subsidiary in Finland. You don't have to have your holding company in Finland. You can apply through the subsidiary. The holding company can still be in Estonia.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
I'm not that familiar
Right,
with
so
this
I'm just saying that you can
now.
open a small thingy and you can apply via that. So use it. And the size of the fund is $500 million. €500 million.
But you still have to have a Tempo grant.
No. The process is first Tempo, and then the R&D. Yeah. Right. So the first is a Tempo that qualifies it, and then the next one is the R&D. You can't jump in on that. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, then let's give a round of applause for Riin. And we have a small present.